Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks so much for joining us here on KXAN Live. I'm Will DuPree, coming to you from the KXAN Live studio. We hope you're out and about enjoying some of these cooler temperatures and beautiful conditions in Austin today on this Friday before the Thanksgiving holiday. And I'm sure many of you out there are figuring out your travel plans for Thanksgiving, and you may even be flying out today or driving this weekend. And it really should come as no surprise that a lot of us will be on the move. Take a look at these numbers right here. AAA came out with its Thanksgiving travel forecast, predicting that airports and roads may seem jam-packed this year. More than 53 million people are expected to travel somewhere for the holiday. That will be the highest single-year increase since 2005. Also, according to AAA, air travel may be up 80% over last year. Now, because of that high traffic and travel volume, anyone flying out of Austin-Bergstrom International Airport should arrive very early for their flights. Starting today through Monday next week, the airport tweeted that people should arrive 3 hours prior to their flights, and that applies even to those who have TSA pre-check or clear. To explain more about that and the airport's operations during this busy holiday season, today we're joined by Bryce Dubee live, coming to us from the airport. He's a spokesperson for Austin-Bergstrom International Airport. Bryce, thank you for being here.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Today really kicks off that kind of mad Thanksgiving holiday rush. What are the operations like today at Austin?
So we've already started to see that increase. It's been busy even coming through October. We just had our busiest day ever following Formula One with 35,000 passengers coming through. Today we are starting to see those upticks again. We're expecting about 28,400 passengers to go through TSA security. That's going to maybe dip down a little tomorrow, but continue to pick back up. Sunday is going to be very busy all the way into the holiday itself through Wednesday. And then next week, of course, that following Sunday is a lot of folks who are heading back out after Thanksgiving. That Sunday and Monday, we are anticipating to be busy, over 30,000 passengers each day.
How do those numbers compare to years previous for this holiday season?
So just to put it in perspective, and this is not just unique to Austin, this is really sort of a nationwide trend. Compared to 2019, overall, nationally, bookings are up about 3.2%. So what we're seeing here in Austin, just as a sense of perspective, the Sunday after Thanksgiving in 2019, we saw 29,697 passengers go through security. So already this year, looking that we're anticipating to surpass 30,000 several days, it's going to be busier than our 2019 holiday travel season.
I did mention at the top of our conversation, Bryce, that you all at the airport are asking people to arrive at least 3 hours prior to their flight if they're taking one of the departures there in Austin. Why exactly is that you're asking people to arrive so early?
So there's a few reasons. One is we are going to be exceptionally busy this year, so we are just reminding folks to give themselves that extra time. Another thing, there are a lot of folks, particularly this time of year, who may not have traveled in a while. So we do see during the holiday travel season more families, more folks going with children, larger groups, things like that. So there are just some things we want to advise folks, especially when it comes to arriving early. That doesn't mean necessarily being in line for TSA 3 hours early, but it means if you're going to be heading to the airport, coming in, being able to park, know where you're going to be dropping off bags, picking up boarding passes, all of those types of things, that really fills into that 3 hour window. And that's why we're encouraging folks to plan ahead and have that extra time.
I had someone send me a message on Twitter after posting about the long line and asking people to arrive so early, and people questioning, like, why would that be? Is the airport satisfied with having to ask people to arrive at least 3 hours before their flights?
So we had a really good opportunity to really sort of stress test some of this coming off of F1, where we saw, again, 35,000 passengers go through in a single day. That was our busiest day in history. With folks who followed those recommendations, it did move at a pretty steady clip throughout the day. So passengers were getting screened, passengers were getting onto flights. So it's something that we feel like heading into this holiday season, while we know it is going to be busy, we just had a great opportunity to make sure that we could test all of those things out just last month.
You did lay that out a little bit ago about what kind of contributes to these recommendations to arrive so early to the airport. Can you just again describe what the factors are contributing to this particular issue?
So it really is, it's something why we are recommending folks to do this. It is to make sure that they can get through all of those steps. So we have a couple of different things. If you really think of it chronologically, when you're going to get on that trip to the airport, as soon as you come in onto our entranceway, you're going to have to figure out where to park. So if you're parking in economy, You're going to have to take the shuttle bus, come in, figure out where you're going to do those types of things. So it's that, and then you're going to be dropping off bags, then getting into security and all of that to get to your flight, because that 3 hour time really affords you that opportunity to make it through all of those steps. One other thing we do want to remind passengers, we do have parking reservations available in our red and blue garage. So if you do want to maybe shorten some of your things as far as with planning that out, that's something we definitely recommend. If you go to abiaparking.com, you can make those reservations.
Is this recommendation to arrive at least 3 hours prior to your flight going to extend past Monday, or is it really just kind of this busy holiday weekend ahead of Thanksgiving?
So really knowing right now that what we can see, that forward booking and what we're looking for that now, it's just predominantly for this travel season.
Okay.
We have seen a busier fall in general, but right now this is our recommendation for at least the next 10 days or so.
Maybe speaking in generally, we have seen some of these warnings from the airport previously ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday, so it's not really too much of a surprise that you would ask people to arrive even earlier than their flights are expected to leave. What is the airport doing to kind of address those particular concerns at the airport and maybe cutting down some of that wait time?
So we've made a lot of changes internally as well. Like I said, leading into, we knew it was going to be busy for Thanksgiving. We knew it was going to be busy for ACL and Formula One. So we made some changes, even coming out of the summer travel season. So we've changed some of our stanchion and line queuing procedures to really help streamline some of that. We've really worked with our TSA partners as far as what they need to do with getting things open and screening as early as possible. Our security screen lines open as early as 3:30 a.m. so that we can get folks out there and onto their flights. We plussed up some of our staff. We have staff even from other divisions within the department coming in to volunteer to assist during these busy times. So we're making a lot of adjustments and things. Additionally, for any passengers coming through, if you're going to be dropped off or picked up on our curbside, another thing we're allowing folks to do now is it doesn't matter if you're an arrival or departure, whichever lane is shorter, if you can just tell whoever's going to be picking you up, they can just do it on either one, either upper or lower levels.
I also wanted to point out again that that tweet that the airport sent out told people that they should get there 3 hours early, even if they have TSA pre-check or clear. Speak to that.
So again, part of that is with just some of those other processes in there with parking, bag checks, things like that. The other thing, as we are seeing more travelers out there taking advantage of these services, some of those lines, especially during our peak travel times in the morning, do get backed up. So it's something we're just recommending folks to be aware of and to give themselves that extra time when they are coming through.
I know we're not even to Thanksgiving just yet, but what all are you anticipating for Christmas and that particular travel season next month?
At this time, it's a little hard to predict. We do know Thanksgiving was going to be busy, but looking ahead to Christmas, and a lot of folks maybe have, now that we've seen more vaccination rates go up and a lot of folks who maybe postponed holiday travel next year, we do anticipate that it will be busy. Probably not as busy as Thanksgiving. That really is just the way it falls with that Thursday and folks being able to do that long weekend. This is really kind of a big travel time. So it's kind of a wait and see just on seeing where it is. I know it falls on a Saturday this year, so we're still kind of keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, definitely already kind of expecting what it might entail. For people who are wondering about parking at the airport for Thanksgiving, if they might have a flight today or in the days to come, what's the best advice for that?
So our best advice, we provide real-time updates on our parking website. So if you go to the Austin website or if you go to abiaparking.com, you can see what is available out there. Again, we do have parking reservations that are available, so folks are looking to do that as well. Another important thing to remember for passengers who are flying on Frontier or Allegiant, that is at a separate terminal, that is at the South Terminal. So if your best bet for them is to park at the South Terminal itself, they have a separate facility, and that's accessible off of Burleson Road onto Emma Browning.
All right, definitely some helpful tips there, but before we go, Bryce, I just want to let you kind of share with people out there again what the recommendations are if someone is flying out today or coming up this weekend.
Sure. So really right now, plan ahead, figure out where you're going to park if you need to take any of those extra steps as far as baggage, check-ins, things like that, and give yourself that extra time. Again, we are recommending 3 hours through Monday following the Thanksgiving holiday, really to give yourself that extra time to make sure that you get on your flight.
And with masks, what should people keep in mind there too?
And as always, masks are required throughout the rest of this year, the federal mask mandates for all airports. So even if you're going to be flying out and flying back, at all airports in the United States, you will be wearing masks in the terminals as well as on your flights.
Reiterate to me what the numbers are you're expecting for passengers going through security.
So we're looking today already, we're going to see about 28,400 passengers. By Sunday, it's going to pick up over 30,000 passengers.
Wow.
And sort of ebb and flow throughout the week, but we're expecting several 30,000 plus passenger days over the holiday.
All right. Well, Bryce Dubee with the Austin-Bergstrom International Airport, thank you for joining me for this interview. I appreciate it, and we will be checking in with you again very, very soon. And happy Thanksgiving.
You too. Thanks.
All right. Thanks again, Bryce. And for more information about airport operations and what some of the recommendations are, we do have those available on our website. That's KXAN.com. You can also find it on the KXAN News mobile app. Please download that on your smartphone if you haven't done so already. I'm Will DuPree here in the KXAN Live studio. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here another time, everybody. Please stay safe and healthy out there. Take care. Have a good weekend.